Hi there and welcome to Michael's cross-stitch time. I've always looked at these cool feminist cross-stitch pieces actually and thought to myself, geez, I'd love to have a house full of those cross-stitch pieces. But normally my ambition would end when I saw price tags and realized I don't have enough money to afford all of them. But for whatever reason, it never occurred to me that I could just do the cross-stitching myself. And then the new year came around and I said to myself, you know what, Michael? You are going to learn how to cross-stitch because cross-stitching is super cool. And so one day I got back from work and my partner had bought me this, which is Feminist Icon Cross-Stitch, 30 Daring Designs. And I said to myself, there is no reason I shouldn't be able to cross-stitch. It is just putting a needle through a bunch of different holes. And so I said, Michael, you are going to learn how to cross-stitch and you're going to start with Michelle Obama, because why wouldn't I start with Michelle Obama? So it didn't take long for me to become relatively obsessed with cross-stitching. I would cross-stitch every night. I would cross-stitch while I was out after dropping my daughters off at Girl Guides, and what I would do is sit around in restaurants and cross-stitch. And you know what? I was shocked by the reaction I got. The reaction I got wasn't one of what is that weirdo doing sitting over there in the corner. The reaction was generally one of interest. And so people would come over and say, is that your cross-stitch? And I'd say, yes, that is my cross-stitch. And they'd say, what is that cross-stitch? And I would say, that's Michelle Obama that I'm cross-stitching. And they'd say, oh my goodness, isn't that wonderful? And what I realized is guys let themselves do or keep themselves from doing a lot of cool things because they're worried about what other people might think of them. And this is pretty bullshitty because guys, you should be doing these kind of things if these are the kind of things you want to do. I mean, cross-stitching may not be for everyone. But if cross-stitching you think might be for you, you should take it up. My first cross-stitch piece was actually pretty crappy, but I am so proud of it. Actually, this is version 2 of it. I got the hair done on one of them and said I can't do this anymore. So I researched some cross-stitching videos and figured out how to make it a little more easy for myself. So I've got myself some different size Aida cloth now and fewer threads on my embroidery silk, and on person number 2, which is Marie Curie, I have been doing a whole lot better. As you can see, I can even cross-stitch and talk now, and I'm super pumped to be able to fill my house with all of these different cross-stitch pieces. So I guess the one thing that I want to stress is that, guys, if there's something that you want to do, you really got to find a way to get past what others are going to think of you for doing that. You got to think about how it is something that you've wanted to do and how that will bring you joy. And what goes hand in hand with that is making sure that when other people are doing things that you wouldn't do, it could be something that they really want to do. So there's no need to turn these kind of things into competition of who is more of a man than anyone else, because we are all very aware that this has nothing to do with what being a man is. This has everything to do with having fun and doing things that you like. And now surely we're all okay with everyone doing things they like, right? If there's something artistic, if there's something that has been deemed feminine, do it. Do it. We got to realize too that what has been traditionally deemed feminine does not equal weak either. This is another common misconception that we have to get rid of. It is absolutely based on nothing but misogyny, so let's get rid of it. Let's do the things that we want to do. Let's celebrate the cool things in our lives. And let's all cross-stitch together. Masculinity can be a pretty disgusting trap from time to time. The things that we think we need to be doing too often prevent us from the things that we want to do. This can't have any other effect but to make us have a less enjoyable life. I'll tell you right now that I have started doing this every day, and at this point I can't even imagine not doing it because it relaxes my mind like nothing else. And when you're done, you get this awesome art piece that you get to display wherever you want. So really guys, escape the trap of masculinity and do things you love because you want to do them. I know that sounds pretty simple. I'll be quite honest. It is as simple as it sounds. You just do things. Seriously. You do things and you celebrate yourself doing them, and you don't make fun of other people for doing the things that they love. So there it is. How to cross stitch. I'll do it step by step too one day if you need one. But really, look at that hair. That's coming along really nicely. Anyways, thanks a lot.